everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and yes, I am losing my voice. I think I'm getting sick. My daughter's sick. My youngest son is starting to get like the sniffles. So yeah, I think it's happening. I think it's going to rip through my whole entire house. So I am pre-filming this, and hopefully I will have enough filmed through when this hits me really bad and I just don't feel up to filming. So I am filming this probably a week before it is due to go up. This is my 100 eyeshadow challenge update, and as I've always said, I'm only going to update if it is worth updating, which means I have to have, at least a few empties to show you. Yeah, I have more than a few empties. This past month has been insane. I have multitasked so much stuff, which I have been honest up front from the very beginning. I said I was going to multitask a lot of eyeshadows to do things that, aren't just on my eyes in order to get through 100 eyeshadows this year. And I'm not at 100, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a phenomenal month. It's almost insane because I finished more in this past month than I did like in the first 6 months of the year, which is crazy. I finished 22 eyeshadows this past month, and not all start to finish. I know it sounds like a huge number, but I kind of knew this was coming. I knew I was going to have a month like this because I have been using these eyeshadows all year long. So there was a bunch of them that just didn't have a ton left. I mean, they were like a quarter of an eyeshadow, and I just kind of focused in and got stuff done. So I know I don't have all the pans here because I keep some of them over there, but I just, like, with that many eyeshadows, I'm just going to show you what I have right in front of me, but I will tell you which ones that I got through. So I went through a ton of the Coastal Scents 88 palettes. I'm just going to show you what it looks like right now. There's a ton of empty pans here. There are a few of them that I do have pressed into small pans in like my makeup basket and stuff like that. But most, not all, but most of what you see that is empty, I have finished, minus the X's. So yeah, I've got like a ton out of here that is completely done. I finished 2 shades, whatever the name is on here. Don't ask me to say it. I have finished both of these shades here. Those were super easy. I basically mixed those together to create a shadow to set my eye primer. And I actually, the lighter one, I used part of it to set underneath my eyes. It's very powdery. It's not very well packed. So I was able to go through those really easily. And knowing what I know now about this, there are some shades in here that I might actually work on before the end of the year because I think I can knock them out pretty easily. Like this one is going to be really easy to use. Potentially this one down here. And it's going to be dependent on what I have in other projects, whether or not I am going to delve into that one a little bit more. I also finished, let me see how many. 1, 2... I think just 2 in this palette. There's just like such a long list. I'm trying to scroll through it. So I finished 2 out of this palette. This was, I believe this was, I had Sangria in this, and then I pressed something else into it, which I don't remember what it was. I've got a bunch of things from the Profusion Eye palette that I finished. There's 4 of those pans here. This one was pressed from Coastal Scents 88 palette, 2 from the Sephora Colorista palette, which I'm throwing, and this was the silver, I know, from the Coastal Scents 88 palette. So I'm just going to read you the list of what I have. From Coastal Scents 88, I finished the G8, which was a purple, Coastal Scents 88 H2, which was a warm light brown, the third shadow of the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette, Bare Minerals Hugs, Bare Minerals Tortoise, Coastal Scents 88 palette D9, which was like an orangey red. I already said the shade Pumpkin in this palette. I finished a shadow from the e.l.f. quad, like Happy Hour quad, an e.l.f. shadow from the Blushing Beauty quad, the Profusion Smoke shadow from their Eyes palette, Profusion Blushing from the Eyes palette. That was a really pretty matte pink. Shade 7 from the Carly Bible palette. 2 shades from the Profusion palette, Hollywood and Tricky. Hollywood was kind of like a gray shade and like a matte medium gray. And then Tricky was a medium to dark matte brown. Let me scroll up. Coastal Scents 88 palette D6. I didn't write what color that was. And then Coastal Scents 88 G9, which was red. Let me see, what was D6? Usually I can tell if there's a little bit of remnants in there. D6. Oh, that was like, I frankened that one. That was like a lavender shade. That was not in any project. I just used it to franken some stuff to get, you know, to make some of these shadows that I'd been working on a little bit more multitask friendly, so to speak. The 2 from the Sephora Colorista palette, the black with the silver glitter and the black with the blue glitter that I had frankened with gold and bronze to make that one shade that I kind of used on my nails sometimes. Let's see, I had a Franken shadow. It did have a complete shadow in it, but I don't remember what it was. So that's why I put it in as a Franken shadow. That was like a matte light brown. Let's see, Coastal Scents 88 palette, the silver shadow, that was A11. That's the one I had pressed into this rectangular pan. And then the last 2 shades were from the Profusion Eyes palette. It was Operator, which was kind of a like a champagne shimmer, and then Dawn to Dusk, which was like a light bronzy kind of shimmer. And those actually went into a Franken as well, and I was able to use those up. I will say that some of the ones that I have used up, I had frankened some stuff to use on my roots because I'm still not able to dye my roots. I want to do like a demi-permanent on my hair, but as I've said in the past, I have psoriasis and like I've been in a flare for months, and I can't dye my hair right now. So in order to not have like this warm tone here and then totally light ash brown here, which almost looks gray on the camera, which I've noticed. I do have some natural gray, but not like what it looks like sometimes. In order to try to blend that a little bit, I have been using eyeshadow and like the highlighter and stuff like that to kind of blend it a little bit. As soon as I can dye my hair, that's all going to come to an end. But until then, I'm using some of these shadows, and it's working. It is working for me. It's not perfection. I would much rather use the demi-permanent color on my hair, but until my scalp is ready for it, I can't do it. All right, so that was the 22 eyeshadows that I have finished in the past month. I'm going to show you a handful of eyeshadows that I'm pretty daggone sure I can finish by the next update. I don't think this is the only things I'm going to finish by the next update, but these are the ones that I feel fairly confident that I can get done. And then there's a lot of eyeshadows left, but there's only like there's only so many left overall. Like I have some that have gone into newer projects that I'm not focused on as much as I am the ones that I really feel like I need to get done in this calendar year. So my focus is on a lot less eyeshadows at once. So I feel like I'm going to use them faster than I used other eyeshadows. So it's harder for me to gauge just how many are going to be done by the next update. But I'm going to show you the ones that I do think are going to be done. I have 2 of them from e.l.f. quads. One's Blushing Beauty and one's Happy Hour. I don't know which one's which. Those 2 plus this was a kind of like a bronzy shimmer from the Jane Iredale palette. Those have gotten frankened into here, which looks like a ton of product, but it's really thin, and it's one of those that I have been using in my hair. This will go very quickly. It is probably going to be done, I would say, in the next 2-ish weeks, and then I will have to make something else. So that will make everything else go quicker as well. So those 3 shadows I'm definitely thinking are going to be done. I have Tease from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Big progress on that one. I use it in my eyebrows. Sometimes I actually will contour with it. So that one definitely gets multitasked. My hair is jumping out of my head. That always happens on wash day, which is why my hair is not big, because it's still kind of damp from wash day. And then I have this silver from the Sephora Colorista palette. I definitely think that one is going to be done. There is some potential to have some of these colored shades done. Like I could have Bare Minerals Flamenco done. I really think that one could definitely be done. Potentially this red shadow from Coastal Scents 88 palette. I don't think anybody else in here is going to be done. But I have this Franken Shadow, which I have scraped a little bit out and put in my Pan That palette to use. This, like I can use it as a shadow, but I can also use it to set my primer. I know it looks a little bit dark, but it goes on much more sheer than it looks in the pan. So that one is not pressed very tightly, so that one can easily go quickly. I have a Franken Shadow. There's something from Coastal Scents that I put in here. I don't remember which number. It's in a different spreadsheet. I think that one can definitely be done. And potentially, like I said, this shade right here, that is Sweet. That is going to be a really easy shade to use. And I know at least 2 of these. Hopefully 3 of the remaining shadows are going to be done by the next update in here. And then I have this shade, let's see, I think it was either one of these 2 shades, I don't remember, is pressed into this palette, and I definitely think that one is going to be done because it is a small shadow and it's a really easy color to use up. I think, like, I don't think I'm going to have as good a month as I had this past month, but I do think it is going to be a pretty darn good month for next update. I really do. So stay tuned for that update. Let me give you the details. I was at 40 eyeshadows the last update. I am currently sitting at 62. So that makes me feel a lot better. A lot better. If I have this kind of month, next update, I could easily get to 100. It can be done. I was worried there for a while. I really was. I was really worried. But yeah, I'm like starting to use eyeshadows as highlighter, contour, bronzer, blush. I've been using it, like I can do most of my face in eyeshadow. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, if I have another good month, I think it could happen. I really do. And if I'm only a few short, then I'm a few short, and maybe I'll try again next year. I mean, if I do really well this year and I get within less than 10, I might try it again next year. I'm really hoping I can do it this year. Crossing my fingers. We will see how it goes, and hopefully this doesn't develop into too much, but my voice is feeling a little funky right now. So it sounds funky. It feels weird when I'm talking, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, have a beautiful day.